So here we are, Aquarius. This one is for you. That's you, Aquarius. This is your general report from Tarot Lumination for October 2017. Okay? We're not going to do a lot of preamble or explaining the spreads and things like that anymore. It's just almost like it's just too much. So we're just going to dive right in. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. It's just stripped down bare bone tarot. We're going to use this heart spread. It's a journey. It's a journey of the heart. Okay? And because without that, there's nothing. All right? That's why we do it this way. You'll see. All right, here we go. All right, cards were already shuffled well in advance. I just want you to know that. But I like to do it right up to the last second so that you're a witness. Okay? All right, here we go. This is going to be your core energy at the soul level here. Okay? This is going to be legacy energy that you're bringing in with you from, let's call it, the past. However extensive that might be. Weeks, months, years. Let's see, we'll find out. And this is the ever-present now as we're moving to bring your energy through October as an experience that you would feel through what we call time. Okay? And then as you live through that experience, like it or not, we're making decisions incrementally, one by one at a time, to evolve and move forward. And that would be the energy of having made a decision to move. So having made the decision, how do we move forward effectively so that we don't undermine ourselves or others? Okay, over here, and on the understanding of how we can create our own reality, whether we know it or not. If you understand that, like with the laws of attraction and things, you are manifesting your reality all the time by your thoughts and words and decisions. Okay, so that would come to you as perfectly normal. Okay, well, that would make sense. And if you don't feel it works that way, then this would feel more like the energy of fate coming at you or around you or something like that. And this is kind of like that energy that you feel once you've already made your decisions to move on and evolve and grow. It triggers a natural body essence inside of you that says, oh my gosh, I hope I did the right thing. What if it works? Wouldn't that be awesome? What if it doesn't work? Uh-oh, what happens? Okay, and then this is the sort of momentum, you know, where things would be heading, or how things would manifest from there. And we're going to look at the bottom card in a second, which is kind of like what I think of as the weather that prevails the whole situation. Just think of it as weather, like on the Weather Channel or something like that. And you're going to make the best of it, whether it's earthquakes, hurricanes, floods, tornadoes, fires, freezing cold, boiling hot, whatever it is, you're going to deal with it, okay? It's not going to own you. So I just wanted you to see, can you see that this is a heart shape here? I hope you can see that. I try to do my best to make it look like a heart. And that's you in this core energy there, all right? So that's kind of how it is. That's how we're doing this little spread, okay? So keep that in mind. You can reinterpret this however you want later. That's up to you. This is just Tarot Illumination giving you a story from this side of the screen. And you can feel it in a totally different way. Don't forget to watch for your sun, moon, and rising like people do. And we'll figure it all out. All right, so let's have a look. Okay, you've got the Judgment here. So in some kind of really profound way, it's like you're getting a complete, wipe out blessing kind of thing from up above. I don't know if you're recognizing it or actually seeing it or feeling it, but the circumstances and the conditions are there and suitable and ripe for you to accept a complete, like, rebirth. They call it a rebirth in life, where it could be very humbling, where you realize over long periods of time of how you went wrong, what you did wrong, how others wronged you, how you wronged others. And there was a big, massive tally, and all went up and up and up, and like, thinking that you're going to be crushed by your own errors and then punished for this or that, and then maybe celebrated and appreciated for this or that. but it's also on the understanding that none of it really matters because we're always in a state of continuous evolution. We're always forgiving and forgetting, and then we start all over again. But with the energy here, it's emphasized and amplified right now. Like, in other words, Aquarius, be very, very aware. You have an amazing opportunity here to start from scratch. Uh, it's like, going bankrupt and then you're forgiven. In other words, wow, I really, really messed up and you're forgiving me? Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, heaven. Thank you, my dear angels above. Thank you, the great creator of all, and all the other human beings in my life, in my world. So let's have a look. What's going on at the core? So, you know, don't worry too much about this, the Hermit Aquarius, because in some ways, Aquarius, you're a highly unique being anyway. And sometimes it's very hard to define yourself to yourself, or for others to define you. There's always something quirky and quite um, distinct about you that sets you apart from others, which can be felt in the body and soul as, I don't want to, I guess you could just say the word loneliness, isolation and loneliness. However, you don't have to be scared of that because in the end, that's all we are anyway. We're all of us unique beings. Um, it's just a question of how deeply integrated are we with our world and our surroundings and our friends and family and people in our life and our world. Is it gone too far, Aquarius, where you've dissolved yourself into your like community environment and friends and all your well wishes for what works for the world to the point where you've forgotten yourself, you've forgotten your identity, you've forgotten who you are. And all of a sudden, here we are in October realizing that, oh my gosh, I have a chance to start all over again and redefine who I am. But the question is, who am I? What am I? What am I about? What's my mission? Why am I here? What am I really supposed to do while I'm here? So you might be on we've just come out of those massive Aquarius Leo eclipses, and we're in this Leo North Node journey right now for everybody. So you really might be feeling it very, very strongly, Aquarius. Like, oh my gosh, they weren't kidding. In other words, everything that is obsolete and redundant and that needs to be forgiven and released and let go and blessed so that you can heal and move on is happening right now. But it puts you in a position where you realize, like, oh my gosh, I really am on my own here, going deep into the like a journey of self-discovery, which can only happen on your own. You're the only person who can ultimately find out who you are. Yeah, you're going to do it with reflection from others in the world about you, but ultimately the assimilation into self comes from within. You have to own it from within. And then it's almost like you can go full circle and come back with this beautiful little star here, which is almost like going back to being the Aquarian in the first place. So you do the full loop, like, oh my gosh, now I understand what it's like to be a true Aquarian, the Aquarian Mark II, by living through these experiences. However, even if it does mean I have to discover the truth of my own unique identity, because I never really probably knew it in a way that it needs to be known ever before. But now is the time to find out. It's really, really important to find out because then you can become the glowing, shiny, bright version of Aquarius, which might feel very weird to you, but it's what we're all hoping to see from you. Okay? So, yeah, don't be scared of this. If you're feeling like isolated in your journey, or maybe you're actually enjoying it. Maybe you're actually even enjoying the feeling of like, wow, I get to have a chance now to actually discover who I really am by going deep inside, and that's fine because once I figure it out, then I'm going to be a much better Aquarian for myself and for everyone else on the planet. Thank you very much. So what are you bringing in with you here? Okay, we're coming in with a big bang here, Aquarius. So with all these major arcana, with the justice here too, it might feel as though Aquarius, it's almost like that energy, like, oh, okay, this is great. I've read all my books. I've done all my spiritual studies. I've done all my you know, forgiving and forgetting with friends, family, relationships, jobs, co-workers, schoolmates, college mates, children, everything and everybody. And yet, it still feels like I'm on this magic fated journey where I, in some ways, don't actually have any control at all. That's weird. But then again, weird is normal for Aquarius. So then you have the right, Aquarius, to say, oh, wait, that's right, I forgot I'm an Aquarian. I have an excuse. In which case, if you're coming in here with justice, this is justice served, okay? And everything is exactly how it should be. With the swords here, everything is beautifully, perfectly balanced. There's nothing good or bad about what's happened. It just is what it is. And you're getting your just desserts. Everything, all the work that you've done on yourself, all the seeds of love that you have planted in your world, in your life around you, are going to blossom and flourish for you because that is so. That is how the laws of the universe work. And so you will get your dues accordingly, according to justice. Justice will be served. Just as everything that you need to know that you don't know yet will be coming at you because that's part of what's happening too here. And that will be justly served as well. And I have a feeling that you know this already, but sometimes it takes, you know, maybe something like a tarot reading to get that affirmation and that feeling and actually hear it back to you in words where, oh, now I get it. It makes perfect sense for me, the Aquarian, to feel very, very uh, much as though I'm being pulled along by fate or pushed along by fate to go through this journey, this process. And yes, I'm smart enough as an Aquarian to understand that from my cool, calm demeanor, detached approach to life. However, as a human being, I have to admit, it feels a little bit weird, but that's okay. That's you, the Aquarian, accepting that life can feel weird and it's a journey and it's okay to feel that way. You know, that's as good a way to experience life as anything else. If it was all locked down and perfect and solid all day, every day, and you knew everything all the time, where's the joy? Where's the fun? Where's the excitement on that? You're off onto some big new stuff here, okay, Aquarius? I'm really happy for you. So, what about the ever present now? Okay. Aquarius, what is going on in your world? You, with the Fool card here, if it's like, oh my gosh, if it's almost like, pretend I'm the Aquarian now, it's like, gulp. Oh my gosh, what's happening? I've been watching all these videos, I've been studying. I'm perfectly aware that I'm a highly evolved spiritual being anyway, but the reality is it feels like it's going to the next level and I'm being pushed to go into this new Aquarius thing that I don't really know who it is or what it is, because if you're asking me to kind of be like a Leo type, what is that? That's like that that's not me. I'm an Aquarius. I don't do that. However, with the Fool here, you have permission. It's like you're being granted permission. Again, like this, there's a tremendous energy of being granted new energy, new life, new beginnings that are justly deserved in a way that's good for you. But it involves you. I know this doesn't look like a Leo type or a very, very, let's say, bright, shiny self type of card, but it involves really, really coming to terms with who you are deep down as a soul and starting to radiate that energy outwards, as opposed to thinking of yourself as this detached person, like the ultimate observer, the 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 well-wisher for all of us. You actually have a chance now through October. Let's just say it's through October and perhaps even beyond, where you are being not only given permission, you are being highly encouraged, pushed, if you want to think of it, or dragged or pulled into it, your own new future, which might make you feel as though you're going way off into the unknown. I mean, you put these two together here. I mean, think about it. There's a lot of energy of journey and moving deep into the unknown, uh, but it's without too much risk. In other words, it's almost like you are literally guided and protected. You can't go wrong. Like it's almost whatever you do, whatever decisions you make, it's okay. It's okay because you're allowed to fail. It's admitting to yourself that you're human and you're flawed and you're allowed to fail. You don't have to be the perfect scientist all the time. You can set off on a blazing trail thinking you're doing the right thing and thinking, oh, wait a minute, I messed up. Oops. And you don't have to punish yourself, or you won't be punished. You'll just be forgiven because everyone else will say, it's all right, Aquarius. That's what happens to the rest of us. You don't have to know it all the time. It's all right. So you're really lucky here in a way, Aquarius, okay? So let's just say you kind of get what we're talking about here. It's just that it's big energy and you're on this big wave that's sweeping you forward and leaving everything behind, everything that's redundant about the Aquarius self, and bringing the new version of the Aquarius self into existence. That happens by decision by decision, to joyfully and gracefully allow yourself to evolve and grow and move on, as indicated here, because you have been released and forgiven. So it's okay to do it. It doesn't matter like what you did. If you have a trail of carnage of, broken hearts in your past or something like that, or all sorts of messes that you messed up, it doesn't matter anymore. We're moving on, okay? We're all moving on. So in so doing, see, we have the moving on card. Ho, ho, ho. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. How appropriate. So, Aquarius, it's like making the decision, okay, if this is what the universe is telling me, if this is what I'm feeling has to happen, where I have to go deep into myself, allow myself to go onto a wacky new magic carpet ride journey, where if I'm honest, I have no idea what's going on because I've never been there before or done that, and no one's telling me what to do or how to do it, but we know it's going to be okay, then cool. I now, Aquarius, give myself permission to move on. Thank you very much. I'm going to leave all the doo-doo behind that is no longer healthy and appropriate for Aquarius Mark 1. We're moving on. We're moving on, people. And we're going to take all the good stuff, all the brainiac, smart, cool stuff that is naturally part of Aquarius energy here. Let's just say it's all symbolized by these 6 swords here. And you're going to bring that with you in your backpack. You're going to travel light, become this new amazing you. This is going to be your little backpack with the core essentials here. The only things that really, really count are the truth, honesty, love, clear perception, and good principles, good attitudes, good beliefs, healthy beliefs, and ultimately the truth. You're going to bring that stuff with you. That'll be your baggage that you take with you. And it's good baggage. It's like having an amazing new toolkit. Moving forward into this new life unfolding here deliberately by your decision, okay? So, how do we do that effectively so that you don't tip over the boat, or you don't get distracted, or feel that you're going to fall off a cliff, or get scared that you won't make it? You allow the crazy stuff to happen. What I'm feeling here, Aquarius, for you, is that you allow your craziest, wildest dreams to unfold in your brain. And you deliberately tap into it. On top of that, you say, you know what? I am looking up to heaven right now. And I decided that I have absolutely no idea in precise terms what to do and how to do it. I know I'm programmed. I know I'm getting pushed. I know I'm getting pulled. I know there's no going back. I know I'm forgiven and I'm forgiving others. But if I'm honest, I don't really quite know what all this means in terms of like definition. So in order to facilitate that and make that happen, I, Aquarius Mark 1, now request messages, signs, indications from the great beyond about what to do and how to do it in weird and wild and wonderful ways that I can understand, perhaps in dreamland, and then reinterpret them back into my day-to-day waking life in ways that make sense. In other words, if you want to think of this as the Einstein kind of card, where you allow yourself to be a vessel through which whatever it is you need to know can enter through your soul, through your being, through the antenna that is your body. And then you own it. You know, Einstein, like he was lying down in that boat, just daydreaming. Like, what is the answer to the universe, please? Please, heaven, please, angels, please tell me. Please, God, I can't quite figure it out. I've been working for years on my blackboard with chalk, and they kind of give you this symbol, like an angel sketches it out with their finger so that Einstein sees it. He didn't have to actually do anything. All he had to do is trust his crazy, wacky dreams. What is that? Oh, E equals mc squared. Okay, I'll go back home and write that on the blackboard. Oh, I get it. Now I understand. That's what we're talking about here. Allow the weird, magic, wonderful things to happen in your brain, Aquarius, that can be translated and brought down into reality that works in a way that, let's say, a human being can understand, which you're probably really good at, Aquarius. You can uh, use that amazing brain power to reconfigure like this dream energy, all this dream energy, all this fantasy energy, all the wishes that you want to fulfill, and desires and aspirations that instead of it's all coulda, woulda, shoulda from the past, it's all now, wow, what's going to happen next? Am I supposed to do this? Do I want that? Is this going to scare me? I've always wanted this. I've always imagined this. I've always thought, wow, wouldn't it be amazing if? Well, what about that? What if? So there's a lot of very big, super positive, exciting what if energy goes here. It's like the energy of the amazing, crazy scientist. And that's you, Aquarius. You put these two together. You see what we're talking about here? The nutty professor. That's what we're talking about. Wasn't there some famous character called the Nutty Professor? That's probably where I heard it. Anyway, that's what we're talking about here. So where does that lead you? What does that bring in? Okay, with the, let's say, Eight of Swords here, my feeling is that it puts you into the maze. Let's say this puts you into the maze where you start to integrate all this magical wooey-wooey stuff from the great beyond, and it starts to get integrated into your day-to-day reality about becoming the new Aquarius here. And it starts to become more and more defined, where you start to get a very stark awareness of the difference between healthy attitudes, healthy beliefs, and all the good positive programming, the softwares, the perceptions, the conditioning that really works in comparison to all the stuff that doesn't work, that translates into confusion, a maze of obstacles and frightening things that you don't even want to address, that surround you all the time, that basically act as imaginary obstacles to your own happiness. So what can happen is it's like an awakening process here where you realize, oh my gosh, it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was scared of this. I had this belief perception that kept me trapped here. I had this preconditioning from childhood and youth that left me feeling stranded and blocked and terrified of moving forward. I always felt trapped in a maze. And then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, now I understand that. Now that you understand the maze, so to speak, it doesn't own you. Then you realize, oh, this could be fun. This could actually be fun. You get to have the like go on this do this magic journey where it's like being a kid in one of those parks where your parents drop you off and say, "Hey, why don't you go into the maze?" And the kid goes, "What? What? What's that?" And you go, "Don't worry, you're going to find out here. Just walk through that door." And you go, "Oh, okay, I'll just do that." And you do that. And at first it gets weird, and then it gets scary, and then it gets exciting, and then it gets weird, and then you cry, and then after a while you realize, wait a minute, this is kind of cool, and then you start laughing, and you realize, oh, it's a beautiful game. You learn through the game. You learn through games and playing mind games, positive, healthy mind games. Okay, so that's beautiful, Aquarius. I'm happy for you. So what would be the scary thing like this doesn't work out? And what would be the awesome thing if it does work out the way it's supposed to, according to the way you're being guided and pushed and pulled? New beginnings, brand new start, where it's almost like, oh, wow, now I get it. And now I understand what Terra Lumination is talking about. Wow, I thought they were out of their mind, but now I understand. It's a way to reprogram, format myself as an awesome new Aquarius where I don't have to treat myself as a computer. I can allow myself to radiate the passion and light and the brightness of what some people would call a Leo type of person, where I can be that shiny, bright self and be passionate, be expressive, and carve out a new destiny um, in ways that you never probably even knew existed before. If you start to look at life as an amazing game. I'm not saying like being a player where you're trying to always game and win over people for your exploitation. No, I'm seeing it as a beautiful game of life where we're always interacting, intimating, separating, learning and unlearning, recalibrating and upgrading all the time. And it's exciting and it's fun, okay? Just like we do here, okay? So it gives you a chance to realize, oh my gosh, it really is all about tapping into my dream energy and then reintegrating that and turning into language and thoughts and experience that I could put down on a piece of paper or in my laptop or my smartphone if I had to, and it would make sense to somebody. So that's really cool, Aquarius. I'm happy for you. Where would that lead us? Oh, it would lead us to an awakening and a realization that, wow, I really did have a lot to learn. I thought I knew a lot already. Already thought that I was a highly evolved being. And all through this, I'm discovering that there's a whole lot more to learn, whole lot more new journey to live, a whole new life to live. And that's awesome. It's kind of, wow, that is so cool. I could have understood that in theory if someone had explained that to me in a life coaching class of evolution. I could have written it in my notes and said, okay, yeah, I get it. But this is you actually living it out. And the realization that, oh my gosh, by accepting these prompts from the universe to evolve, grow, move on, go completely into the known, unknown, and don't be scared. Bring all the good stuff with you. Invoke your imagination, invite your dreams, pray to the heavens to guide you, and you realize, oh my gosh, it's actually working. It's fun. It's like trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle or a crossword puzzle or go into a maze. So you get this new start, and then you realize, I had no idea how naive I was when I first started here. So I can start all over again and like recalibrate myself. So I had this eventually what will happen by continuously repeating this process here of boldly going into your own future and evolving in this particular way, the way we described, you can discover more and more about your own self-worth, your own values of what really, really counts back in your old, good old-fashioned, regular, three-dimensional world. All of this is really like way up in the clouds type storytelling here, but this is bringing it back down to earth where like you go on this amazing spiritual journey here, and then you come back with a realization, wow, I just learned a lot. Now I own that. I own that is like my own software, my own programming, my own operating systems. But it's also on the understanding that there's always a lot more to learn and enjoy. And it's fun too. So that's pretty awesome. I'm really I'm really happy for you with this, Aquarius. I hope you can make something out of this. Read for your sun, moon, and rising. And if you need to reinterpret, the story for yourself in your own way, of course, do that. Just doing like really broad, wide energy for as many people as we can. All right, Aquarius? That's the humanitarian approach. That's what we do anyway. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for choosing Terra Illumination and being here. I love you guys. I love doing this for you. Make the best of it. Have an awesome October. I'll just put this over here at the side as a reminder. That's your weather, okay? All right, Aquarius. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.